If you're scrolling around on dating apps and they start suggesting you girls that live 50 to 80 miles away, I'm gonna need you to stop swiping and start stroking, bro. You ran out of hoes to scare. There are plenty of fish in the sea. And you caught none of them face ass, but I'm in the same boat with you. In 2020 to 2021, I was on Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, heavy, bro. And this is what I looked like. Only screen I should have been tapping was the one on a treadmill. I could not pull a girl if she had a handle attached to it. So needless to say, on dating apps, I was not matching with girls who had options. I was matching with girls who lived in the middle of nowhere. Well, that's a good thing, because I don't want some harlot who has options in my Bugatti. Wrong. Obviously, I don't want to talk to some girl who has the whole US census in her IG DMs, but I would rather get picked from someone's options than to be someone's only option. Because when you're the only person that someone is talking to, they will attach to you strong and fast, and that's just a recipe for disaster. So I matched with this girl who lives in a small town in Texas about an hour away from me. We talked here and there, and I knew she was feeling me, but like, since there was such a distance in between us, none of us really took it seriously. But this one day I got a text from her saying that she would be on 6th Street with some college friends. Now 6th Street is this long road in Austin, Texas that's just riddled with like different clubs and bars and stuff. And at the time I lived downtown on 6th Street. Never doing that again. But the stars aligned. I mean, we were gonna finally meet. So, you know, I had to hit her with something suave, you know what I'm saying? I hit her with without me. I told her that if she came a couple hours early, I could take her out and show her around town a little bit. I didn't want to go clubbing with her because I don't drink and I don't smoke. And I've tried the whole being the sober guy at a club thing. Yo, oh my God, you can't take me anywhere. I'm so fun. Not for me. So she pulls up already wearing her club clothes, and trust me, I did not mind. But taking her on a cafe date at 12 p.m. was definitely a very interesting experience. But that aside, she was mad cool, funny, we got along, like we had a good time. We walked around the town and stuff. I took her back to my crib, but then eventually it was time for her to go out and party with her friends. Oh my God! And I did not go. But after that, she texted me that she had a good time. She goes back home, and she came to Austin to party with her friends often. So we actually ended up meeting a good 2 or 3 more times every time she came to have fun with her friends. This one night I get a text from her saying, hey, I'm gonna be clubbing with some friends. I was wondering if I could come over, but I had an animation to finish that night. So I tell her I couldn't, and she doesn't respond. So I assume she's just partying with her friends and stuff. So I go back to work, but some time passes and I get a message so long that it makes the Declaration of Independence look like a suggestion of downtime. If I gotta scroll twice to read some shit, I'm not reading it. But I didn't even have to read this whole script that she sent me because the use of capital letters and curse words showed me that she wasn't fucking with me at the moment. Now I know she's drunk right now, and the way I move, anytime a woman tells me something while she's drunk, I always take it with a grain of salt. So I tell her, yo, have fun tonight. Let's talk about this tomorrow. And she doesn't respond. A couple hours later, I get a call from her asking if I could pick her up because apparently she left her friends to go blow off some steam. And now she's lost and drunk and scared. Even though I was really busy at the time, I still care about this girl. I didn't want anything to happen. She's alone. And I knew she was on 6th Street, so I didn't mind the 5-minute drive to pick her up. So I asked for the address of where she's at. And she's somewhere in North Austin. In what universe does leaving my friends to blow off some steam translate to going 30 minutes up north? Now I'm mad because I gotta go on a whole commute to pick her up and a whole commute to come back home when I should be animating this video that I gotta be dropping the next day. I really should have hit her with the niggas die every day and let her fend for herself. But instead I got in my car and I started driving. So I'm on the highway for a good like 10 minutes and then I get a call from, oh, yo, where are you? I'm on the way. I'm like 15 minutes away. 15? What? I'm on 6th Street. What are you talking about? The address you sent me was in North Austin. I'm partying. Obviously, I'm on 6th Street. Why didn't you say anything? Clearly, the address was wrong. Hurry up. I'm scared. Deep breaths. So after finding out that it's my fault that she sent me the wrong address, I hit a U-turn and I start heading to where she actually is, which was 5 minutes away from my crib. I pull up and she's there with like 3 other girls drunk talking about, hey, my friends need rides home too. Deep breaths. My car is now a city bus. I'm playing crazy taxi if all the characters were drunk college hoes. I drop one friend off here, I drop another one off there. This one wants to get food, I drop this one off there, and eventually it gets to me and her in the car. And I'm not saying anything, no music, nothing. I haven't given this girl a name yet. We're gonna name her B. I eventually get to B's college friend where she stays with when she goes clubbing. Get there, I tell her good night, and she hits me with the, I'm not tired yet. You better watch some White Noise or George Lopez or something. Good night. Tell her to leave, and she's like, no. And I'm like, huh? And in this moment, it was almost as if she sobered up completely because she says in a serious tone for the first time of the night, I know if I leave, you'll never talk to me again. And hearing this gives me a look into the perspective of this girl. I mean, she wanted to hang out with me and she just wants to feel heard and loved. And she doesn't want me to never talk to her again. So I'm trying to get her out of the car so I can never talk to her again. And she is not budging at all, bro. We're arguing. She's crying. I'm trying to get home. I get tired of it, so I just turn the car off, get out, and just wait by the front door of the dorm. Mind you, it's been like an hour now. So my work shit is completely out of the question. And I'm mad about that because now she's not only playing with my time, but she's playing with my money. I won't be able to finish the video the next day. So I'm not hearing her out at all. I'm waiting by the door and she's just staying in the car. And I swear like 10 minutes pass and nothing happens. But then I see her try to hop from the back seat into the driver's seat. And at that moment I was like, now it's my chance. So I rush over to the door, open it, and try to grab her out of the car. I grab her arm and she starts screaming hysterically, bro. And I took the fattest of steps back because that shit looked crazy. There's people on the side of the road looking at me crazy. I'm done. So I completely leave the car alone and go back to the front door. And I'm trying to like think if there's anyone that I know that she knows that I could hit up. I'm like replaying all of our conversations in my head, trying to think of something. And I remember her college friend who lives in the dorm. Her name is Anaya. So I go through her following, type in Anaya's name, and she pops up. So I shoot her a DM like, yo, can you get your friend? She's in my car. She's not leaving. And thank God she answered, bro. So she comes down, goes to the car, talks to her, takes another like 15 minutes, grabs her out of the car, and they go home. And I skirt the fuck out of there, bro. I get on the road and B starts sending me texts apologizing profusely, and I'm looking at this shit like this got to be the craziest situation I've ever been in with a girl. That wasn't until I matched with another girl who makes B look like the Virgin Mary. So this one time after a long tiring day of scaring all the local hoes, I matched with this girl who lived in a small town and we ended up hitting it off, and we did so well that we actually ended up FaceTiming that night. I'm not gonna say her pictures didn't look good, but she definitely looked way better than I expected. That was a red flag because when you're ugly, finding a cool attractive girl that actually likes you feels like finding a nice car for a cheap price on Facebook Marketplace. You'd be looking at it like, you gotta be like a salvage title or something. Like it's too good to be true. I'm gonna need the Carfax. I didn't really have any options, so I continued to see it through, and she ended up being really cool. We had the same interests, humor, all that. Talked for a couple hours, we end the call, and then she ends up sending me this whole paragraph about how much fun she has, and she ended it with, I really like you, :3, or is that called a colon bracket? I don't know. It was a heart nonetheless. Now at the time I appreciated that and I thought it was really cute, but little did I know that was going to be the beginning of a nightmare. So we keep it pushing, texting every day, calling every day, good morning text, good night text, the whole thing. And the more we talk, the closer we get. We do this for about a week and eventually we end up planning a link up. I give her my address, she gives me her address, we're talking about it, and I find out that this girl lives 3 hours away from me, bruh. That's 6 hours there and back. Yeah. But I got the rose gold shades on, so I agree to pick her up, take her to my place for the weekend. So the week goes on, and as the day that I'm supposed to pick her up approaches, the reality hits me. I'm an animator, and this stuff takes time. Driving 6 hours for anyone really just doesn't align with my career goals. And I didn't want to lead her on because if we linked, we would end up getting even closer, and then maybe she'll want something more, which I would not be able to give her, especially with the distance in between us. So as gently as I could, I tell her all that. She was not feeling none of that, bro. You just don't like me. No, it's not you. You're all the same. I'm sorry. Why can't I just drive to you? Now, I don't want her to drive to me because once again, I don't want to lead her on. I try to explain that to her, but she is fixated on pulling up. She's saying, we'll make it work. I'll drive. We go back and forth. She gets in her car on the phone and I am practically begging her to go back into her house. Eventually, I get tired of it and I end up telling her, yo, do not pull up to my crib. If you do, I will not answer the door. Good night. She gets out of her car, goes back into the house, and hangs up on me. I go to sleep and I wake up the next day hearing nothing from her. So I'm thinking she needs some space. So I go on about my day. I get some work done. I go to the gym. I'm doing my thing there. And then I get a call. I look at my phone and I see that it's her. So I pick it up and I hear nothing but her crying, bro. She is hysterical. So I'm in the middle of the gym trying to get her to tell me what's going on. And through her sobs, she tells me that she got into a car accident. Now, me not even thinking about yesterday, I asked her, yo, I'm sorry. Are you okay? Do you need me to stay on the phone? No, I need you to come here though, because I'm in your house. In my house? What are you talking about? She shares her location and it's at my house. So I'm on the phone like, what do you mean accident? What did you hit? And she goes right back to crying, bro. She is not saying a word. I hang up on her and I get in my car and I speed to where she's at. And the whole time I'm in the car, I'm just thinking about how I told her not to pull up. And she pulled up and got into an accident. I turned the corner of my street expecting to see the worst, and I see her car, and that hoe was in pristine condition. Not a dent in sight. I get out the car looking for Mermaid Man, thinking she hit the invisible boatmobile or some shit. Her car door swings open. She comes to me crying, talking about, I just really wanted to see you. I really wanted to make this work, and you weren't hearing me out. And that's checkmate, bro. She got me. Oh, but I didn't fuck up the camera with that. But that was my first time meeting her, by the way. Craziest first impression of someone I've ever gotten in my life. She got me though. Like, I'm in this parking lot looking dumb as hell. So I'm not even saying anything to the girl. I go on my car and she's like banging on my window and shit, but I just drive. Now, I couldn't really go anywhere far because the crazy ass girl was at my crib, but I left for a couple hours. I come back. Car is not there. I check Instagram and like Tinder and stuff, and obviously I'm blocked, and we never talked again. The thing is, I actually don't even think that girl is crazy. It's just, that's what happens when you have no options. You fall hard and you fall fast, and I'm no exception to that. Growing up, I wasn't really seen as attractive by the girls in my class, so when I got older and was on Tinder and was finally getting attention from women, a very few amount of them, mind you, that was enough for me to even go crazy. And yeah, I had a problem with attaching really fast. Now, I'm not gonna say I did crazy stuff like that, but it would really get me in my feelings. Back in like 2019, I matched with this girl who I named Callie. Now, this had to have been like my third or fourth first date like ever. We meet at this boba spot, and the date was alright, but we didn't really click like that, so we kind of just went our separate ways. Now, some time passes, and I match with this girl who I named Jasmine. Now, Jasmine had to have been the baddest girl I've ever matched with, bro. She was so dry, bro. She could not hold a conversation to save her life. Hey, you, money in the bag. Okay. And because of her dryness, I could not lock down a date. It was impossible to talk to the girl. But as one day I'm working on a video and I get a text saying, hey, I'm gonna be at the downtown park taking a walk. You trying to come along? So I'm like,
my soldiers push forward. Yeah. My soldiers scream out.
Yeah.
My soldiers run.
Yeah. Sure, I'm down. Now, this is before I had a car, but I still lived downtown and the park was like a 2-minute walk away. So I make my way there and she texts me that she's in the parking lot. I'm in the parking lot too and I'm looking for her, but I don't see anyone but a man and this old couple. So I text her, yo, where are you at? I don't see you. And she stops responding. So I just make my way to the park and the man that I saw earlier stops me. They stop me and say hello. And after hearing the voice, I realize it's not a man, but it's a girl with really short hair. Hey, yo, long time no see. Huh? I'm in my head like, it has been a long time no see. Because I have never seen you in my life. Now, I'm confused as to how this random girl knows me, but like, I'm not trying to be rude. So I'm like, you know, hey, how's it been? Da, 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 da. I'm trying to bullshit the conversation. The whole time, though, I'm on my phone waiting to see if Jasmine's going to hit me back. But she hasn't hit me in like 15 minutes at this point. So I'm like, I got stood up, and 2, I got to talk to this girl who is not leaving. She is talking to me like we are long lost friends, bro. I don't know this girl. That is until she says, hey, I'm glad you can make it. Are you ready to go on this walk? This was the girl I was texting the whole time, and no, Jasmine did not catfish me. Let me explain something real quick. As I stated earlier, I struggled with attaching to women too fast, and something I would do to counteract it was I would not save a girl's number if we hadn't met 3 times. Also, if I didn't have your number saved, anytime we talk, I delete the conversation to keep myself from double texting. And this method usually works because I don't talk to multiple women at a time. So when I got that let's go to the park text this morning, I assumed it was Jasmine because she was the only girl I was talking to. I have no clue who this random ass girl is, but we go on the walk and she's like holding my hand and shit. So apparently we've met. I want to say we were walking for like 15 minutes, and I swear the whole time I was just trying to connect dots to figure out who this girl is. Eventually we get to the top of this hill and sit down, and like I'm trying to build up the courage to ask her what her name is, but she hits me with the most clutch alley-oop that she could have. Hey, I know you go by Yo-Yo, but what's your real name? Oh, yeah, I do go by Yo-Yo, but my name's Johannes. You got any nicknames? Oh, my name's Callie.
Callie!
Huh? Nothing. Yeah, my name's Callie, but I've been going by Cal lately. It was the boba date girl, bro. The date was so ass that I forgot her. And the thing is, she cut her hair so much that she was completely unrecognizable to me. And of course, since we only went on 1 date, I never saved her number. So after finally realizing who she was, I was able to actually give the date my full attention. And we had a great time, bro. I don't know what was going on the first date, but we were vibing completely differently this time. And she was actually an artist, an animator even. So we went back to my place, we made an animation, we chilled, and we had a blast. She goes home and I break my rule. I save her number. And I'm telling y'all, bro, at this time of my life, something switched in my head when I saved someone's number, bro. I got extremely attached that night. I can't lie. So much so that I sent her a whole paragraph talking about how much fun I had. And she was like, I had fun too. And in that moment, it was smooth. We actually ended up meeting like 3 or 4 more times. But as time progressed, she started slowly backing off. Her response times became sparse. Her responses became dry. And that's usually a sign to back off and charge it to the game. You said charge? I went full throttle, bro. I got to double, triple, quadruple texting like I was running up an air combo in Street Fighter, bro. It was not a good look, bro. I was bothering this girl so much to the point where I ended up getting left on red and unfollowed on IG. And I can't lie, that shit hurt. And the worst part about that shit was that I still could not get Jasmine to go on a date with me, bro. I was blown. I ended up deleting Tinder. So time passes after that and life starts looking good again. And I actually end up going to get my first tattoo, the one on my hand. So I park on the side of the street and I make my way to the shop. I'm walking and I see this girl. It was this really, really beautiful girl holding hands with this, what I would assume was a girl as well, but she had a shaved head and like a tattoo sleeve. And as I made my way closer to him, I realized it was fucking Callie, bro. And I'm just scoping the scenery. She has a bag on her with a pin that has the flag. When I saw that, it just started connecting, bro. The 2 haircuts curving me, the going by Cal. My game was so bad that this girl switched teams. Now that would have been fine and dandy, but the part that got me is she switched teams and started pulling badder bitches than me, bro. The girl she was with was fine as fuck. I was sick. Let me preface something really quickly, bro. No transphobia. I have genuine love for everyone. This situation was just funny to me now. But at the time, bro, I was in the trenches, bro. No amount of Juice WRLD XXXTentacion and 2 a.m. driving could get me out of this rut, bro. I was sick. The moral of these 3 stories, don't scare the bitches, because one day the bitches might scare you back.